Hello Psych 211 students. This video is going to focus on the 1-3 final project, Milestone 1 Literature Worksheet, Article 1. This assignment will be due here in Module 1 and will get you acclimated to the literature review process that will enable you to complete the Module 3 final project, Milestone 1 assignment. What you are looking at here is a guiding document that's provided for you. You'll find it within the Module 1 folder. It reviews the literature review basics and differentiates a traditional literature review from the more basic literature review that you're going to engage in to complete this assignment. This first section right here explains and highlights elements of a traditional literature review, and if you scroll down a bit and focus on this area, these are the elements that you're going to include and some steps and suggestions for how to complete the literature review for this class. There is a worksheet provided for you. There's an example worksheet that highlights an example literature review and the components of the literature review, and there's also a template that's provided, and this template worksheet you will use to guide you through the process of completing the lit review. I want to point out a couple elements down here and suggestions. So the suggestion here is to scan the article. So when you first look at the article, you're going to obtain this article within the Learning Module folder, and this is going to be based on the track that you selected. Scan the article, look for the research question and the hypothesis or the hypotheses that the authors shared within the article. This relates to the author's claims, and I'll explain that in a little more detail on the worksheet in a second. Also, look for what the researchers found. What were the conclusions that the researchers drew based on their study? In other words, what did they discover related to human development? And then, how did the authors interpret their findings? What implications did their findings reveal? Another suggestion, pay particular attention to the abstract, results, and discussion section. I would also recommend that you thoroughly review the introduction section. That way you get a good understanding of the historical significance leading to the study that you're reviewing. Pay attention to the research design elements, and this is very, very important, pay attention to the ethical dilemmas. Any issues related to ethics are important to inform you what the researchers did to ensure protection of the participants. So be sure to focus on these elements while reviewing the study. So after you scan the study, go back and read the study in its entirety, already having a foundation, a contextual foundation when you review. The bottom part says fill out the worksheet using information from the article. All right, so I'm going to jump to that document. Here you're looking at the Psych 211 Literature Worksheet template. This is provided for you to ensure that you include all of the necessary components of the literature review. Keep in mind that here in Module 1, you're only focusing on the first article. Milestone 1 is due in Module 3, and in that review, you're going to include all 3 articles. For the purpose of this assignment here in Module 1, you're focusing on the 1 article. And the rationale behind this is that you'll get feedback based on your review of the 1 article. And that feedback can be used to strengthen your Article 1 submission, but also enable you to strengthen your Article 2 and Article 3 submissions. Within this literature review worksheet, if you scroll down, all of the sections are already created for you. Once again, you're going to focus on Article 1 here in Module 1. You're going to include the citation, the author's claims. Remember back to the hypotheses or the hypothesis of the study. These are the claims that the researchers make. Within all of these sections, you're going to include 2 to 3 sentences. You can include more if you need to, but the requirement is 2 to 3 sentences. It's more quality, not quantity. The influence of human factors on human development, the historical significance. Think back to what I said about the introduction, where previous studies are discussed and the need for the current study is presented. The research methods and the design. Longitudinal approach, was it a correlational study, cross-sectional? You'll identify this when you review the articles and share this information here. And then back to ethics. Once again, how were ethics addressed? Were consent forms presented? Were participants debriefed? Were their identities protected? Was the study approved by an IRB? Look for elements like that when reviewing the ethics. And then you'll see the same information for Articles 2 and 3, and we'll get to those later. So for now, you're going to focus on the first section. And for a little more information, I want to just share another document that you have at your disposal. This is the example literature review, literature worksheet, and this provides an example of a lit review. So these sections will align with the same sections that are in your literature worksheet template, and a little more guiding information here to see a completed review. You can use this to kind of help you tailor the information to your study and make sure that you include the necessary level of detail. If you have any questions as you work to complete this assignment, feel free to reach out to your instructor.